The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast. Plus, joining me today is a man who... well, he has to be careful walking upstairs, otherwise he'll be around for a while. Welcome, Jacob.
That is true. I don't know, tell me, be like getting up and sitting in someone else's house and basically order them around because you tripped and fell. Okay, well, I think what I need to do is our co-host, a man who fell in love with a girl for the first time ever and decided to throw everything away if she'll have it. Welcome, Drew.
I have noticed a pattern the last couple of intros.
Yes.
As if you're trying to push me down a road that, yeah, I would love to go down that road if I can find someone.
Hey, they just present themselves and I lay into them, okay?
Oh, fair enough. It's not like I have room to talk because eventually we'll have another thing where a dog is a major character and I'll make a dog joke.
Of course.
So, yeah, tonight, it's a patron pick.
Yes.
From our friend Wendy and Primo, who requested we review the film The Man Who Came to Dinner,
1941.
which is not the movie I kept thinking it was.
No.
Because until I looked it up, I kept thinking it was the one with Sidney Poitier,
Yeah.
which scared me about 2 weeks ago when I realized that we were recording this episode on June
19th.
And I'm going, what am I thinking? This could be bad.
No, not necessarily.
It could have been appropriate, but it's like, depending on how things went, it would have been...
Let's not go there. Let's not go
I'm
there.
just saying it could have been awkward.
Okay, it could have been awkward. I don't think it would have been awkward, but
Sure.
let's continue.
I'm not against the idea, but...
yeah. Let's go.
But that's not the movie we're reviewing.
Exactly. Let's not dig into a grave. Let's keep going.
Precisely.
Exactly.
So yeah, why don't we go ahead and jump into the spoiler-free section on this.
Certified fresh and spoiler-free.
So if you couldn't tell from my introduction of this film, this is my first time watching it. I had not seen this film. In fact, I'm not 100% certain I knew any of these actors by look. I knew names, at least one name, maybe two. But yeah, I knew nothing about this going into it. So I will tell you that it is an older style film, of course, from the 1940s.
Early 40s.
Early 40s, like we hadn't gone into... Wait, my dates might be bad.
World War II is in 1945 for America.
Okay.
No, correction.
No, that's...
Sorry. I feel like a nutwit at that point. 1941 is when America entered World War I on December 7th, 1941.
Okay.
When Pearl Harbor started.
So this would have been the same year.
This would have been the same year.
Okay.
But the war had been going on in Europe.
Right. It had been going on there. And they don't talk about the war in this. That's why it didn't immediately trigger when this was. As a former thespian, i.e. actor, or was in high school anyway, I've seen plenty of stage plays, which is definitely what this reminded me of.
Yeah.
For a good reason.
Because it was.
Because it was a stage play that was adapted to screen. So to a degree, I did enjoy it to a degree, but I also don't think this is my kind of movie.
Okay.
I would be interested in maybe seeing a performance of this as a stage play. Mm-hmm. In a room with a bunch of other people. I would even watch this version in a group, in a room with other people in it. Because by myself here in Studio 2B, whatever we're calling this. B2, either way.
Whatever.
I will say it didn't fully hold my attention. But I could see this kind of film in a group or even as a stage play. Definitely when you're feeding off of the laughter and the reactions of others, I could see this being a very enjoyable film.
Yes.
But other than that, it's not a bad film. It's very well done. So, Jacob, what are your thoughts?
Like Drew before, this was my first time viewing this film. I never heard of this film prior to this. Thanks to Wendy, who made this a Patreon pick. Thank you again, Wendy. I watched it on Tubi, and I was like, okay, I was somewhat pleasantly surprised with the story. I did enjoy this movie for the most part. It does have more of the cliches of that era when it comes to storytelling and how generally society worked at that time, or obviously perceived as. There's a lot of this movie that is good, and there's a lot of like, especially towards the end, it's like, okay, but you were doing this, now you kind of reversed your idea, and now you're doing this in a sense. So I am kind of mixed. I'm kind of torn with this movie. There's parts that I really enjoy, and there's other aspects I'm like, this is such a dragged out trope for this particular era of movie. We've already done, what was that, the previous film we did? That was a Patreon pick from Wendy?
Well, the others we've done were Christmas films. So we did Miracle on 34th Street.
Right, not that
and
one.
Then the next year, which was this
Squatter.
last December, was... it's just went right out my head.
Oh, I think it's a squatter movie.
Yeah, it's the one with the squatter in it.
Yeah.
It happened on Fifth Avenue.
Yeah, it happened on Fifth Avenue.
That's what it
Very
was.
similar kind of thing, but we'll get into that when we get into our likes and dislikes. But I mean, I was pleasantly surprised by some parts of this movie. Okay, this is a very well done movie for a movie made in 1941, as America was or was not. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, they had already entered World War I when this movie debuted.
Yeah.
Which was on December the 24th. Or at least they declared war. They had declared war by that point. There's a whole historical thing behind that, but that's for another podcast at some point. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would recommend it. The only thing I wouldn't recommend is watching it on Tubi. Not like the last movie, which was a total train wreck of transfer.
Because that movie last week had the issue of being a very bad transfer.
It was a horrible transfer.
This is actually a very good transfer.
This was a great transfer, minus the amount of commercials drove me bonkers.
Oh, that's the problem with a streaming service that you don't actually have to pay for.
I agree.
And I swear the commercials were getting longer.
They were.
Like at one point, I swear I was in commercials for 5 minutes. I haven't had 5 minutes of commercials since I was last watching cable television.
Fair enough. So, be like, would I recommend this movie? Yes. I'll get into the details later about like you can actually buy this movie still, but because it's done by Warner. Warner Brothers always keeps most of their films out for available for purchase.
We'll see if that happens once they get bought by Paramount. If they get bought by Paramount.
If they got by Paramount. But overall, I did enjoy aspects of this film. Other parts, I didn't. But we shall see when we get into our likes and dislikes.
Indeed. So why don't we go ahead and jump into the spoiler-filled section, and we'll get going on this. The following is a spoiler-filled review for the film It Happened... That's not the film.
Thank you, Wendy.
I was reading it on screen.
Yes.
The following is a spoiler-filled review for the film The Man Who Came to Dinner. Listener discretion is advised. The Man Who Came to Dinner was directed by William Keighley, who also is the director of The Adventures of Robin Hood, a.k.a. the Errol Flynn movie.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, he's got some...
He's got some clout as a
He definitely
director.
has some clout. It was written by Julius J. Epstein and is based on the stage play by George S. Kaufman and Moss Hart. Getting into the cast, we've got Betty Davis as Maggie Cutler, who played Mrs. Van Schuler in the 1978 version of Death on the Nile.
Nice.
Ann Sheridan as Lorraine Sheldon, who played a character named Ann Rogers on Honeymoon for Three. This is one of those where I had a hard time coming up with stuff I recognized, by the way.
That's fair.
Monty Woolley played Sheridan Whiteside, and he played John Sidney Howard in The Pied Piper. Mm-hmm. Richard Travis played Burt Jefferson, and he was Richard Conroy in Backlash. And Jimmy Durante played Banjo, and he played Smiler Grogan, I probably said that wrong, in It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. A movie I may make you watch one day. Not necessarily because I like it, but because it is a movie that probably you should have to watch one day.
Fair.
Kingdom Hearts connections. I think you already know, but
yeah, I'm fairly
go
sure.
ahead and give a guess.
Well, I'm going to let our lovely audience make a bold decision on what.
Neko already guessed 0.
Neko said 0. Artsy said 2. Laugh out loud. I kind of agree.
And I will say, guessing that there might be one is not a bad guess because the actress who played Alice and Wendy in Peter Pan did reprise her role in Kingdom Hearts, so there is a chance that people from this era
that's true
could have played a role.
Yes, I would very positively say
Bobo
0.
also says 0.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and yeah, it is Giant Goose Egg. And for anyone who was here for the pre-show, could probably have guessed that.
Oh yeah,
because I forgot to do my dead level best until after Jacob was here. So I'm still getting used to the new system. What do we got in info and stuff, Jacob?
All right, so info and stuff. IMDb, it has a 7.5 out of 10 on IMDb. Rotten Tomatoes is 88 reviewer score and an 81% score from audiences. So it's got a fairly decent score. Mm-hmm. It's got a good score. Streaming on Tubi. If you want to go watch it on Tubi, minus you're going to get a lot of ads. A lot of ads. Like, honestly, like when we watched Rock and Roll, there wasn't that many commercials.
They knew they couldn't make money on that one.
Who knows?
I guess. I don't know.
Maybe it's the fact that it's a Warner Brothers property. Who knows?
Could be.
Either or. Speaking of physical media, you can buy it for this odd price of $26.08 on DVD on Amazon Prime. If your heart's desire is to buy this movie, by all means. Production was Warner Bros. Pictures. Distributed, same. Runtime was 112 minutes. Release date was December 24th, 1941. Mind you, Pearl Harbor had just happened.
Yeah.
December 7th, 1941. A day which will live in infamy.
Literally 2 to 3 weeks before this.
Yes. Which is like when he said something, it was like, oh my, you're not kidding. Oh my gosh. But yeah, America had already declared war on Japan, and then the Nazis decided to declare war on America along with Japan.
And I do want to point out that yes, this did come out on Christmas Eve, but with the exception of one scene, this is not a Christmas movie.
No,
it could happen any time of year.
Exactly.
Which is my excuse for Die Hard, but that's neither here nor there. I'm also not going to fight that fight. So
thank you, appreciate it, because it is a Christmas movie.
I'm just saying. I will admit, Die Hard has more of a right to the title Christmas movie than this does.
Fair.
But continue.
Anyways,
and that's why we're doing it in June.
So it's home video release. I could not. I'd be like, either I forgot to or I just didn't find it. I could go back and look at it. I'll find it in a minute, but what have you. Home video release. Warner Home Video released the Region 1 DVD on May 30th, 2006. The film has a English audio track and subtitles in English, Spanish, and French. Bonus features include The Man Who Came to Dinner inside a classic comedy with Joe whatever.
I'm guessing McDokes.
McDokes.
It's an odd last name.
Yeah, McDokes.
I apologize.
It's a very awkward name to pronounce. McDokes. Again, be like, if we're saying your name wrong,
we apologize.
We apologize. And plus, half the time, I can't spell. I can't read half the time. But anyways, comedy short. So you think You Need Glasses, the musical short 6 Hits and a Miss, directed by, again, weird names.
Gene Nelgulesco is my guess.
Yeah, what he said, because I'll butcher it even further. And the original theatrical trailer, a Warner Archive Collection DVD, was released on August 23rd, 2016. The film was released for the first time on Blu-ray by Warner Archive Collection on May 31st, 2026. Fairly recently.
Mm-hmm. Like a couple of months ago. And it... Like after Wendy paid us to actually review this film.
That would have been bad to pick up. Be like, I actually kind of enjoyed this film in some capacity.
It wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong.
No. It holds a lot of the same, like commentaries and everything the previous DVD did. But yeah, that's about basically it. Let me go. You continue what you're gonna do, and I'm gonna find if I can find theatricals.
Well, you failed to mention one interesting thing that is apropos for our podcast. It also included the Bugs Bunny cartoon, The Wabbit Who Came to Supper, which is basically a parody of this.
Yes, thank you.
And it's definitely one of the funnier ones, and you should go watch it.
Yes.
So yeah, getting into the summary.
Make Dork sounds funny. Poor guy.
While passing through the small town of Messelia, Ohio, during a cross-country lecture tour, notoriously acerbic New York radio personality Sheridan Whiteside injures his hip after slipping and falling on the icy steps of the house of the Stanleys, a prominent family with whom he is supposed to dine as a publicity stunt. He insists on recuperating in their home during the Christmas holidays, to which they agree to avoid a threatened $150,000 lawsuit with Thomas E. Dewey as his attorney. The overbearing, self-centered celebrity soon comes to dominate the lives of the residents and everyone else who enters the household. He commandeers the most prominent rooms in the house and restricts his host and hostess to the upper story of their house. He cons the doctor to exaggerate his recovery time by promising to read the doctor's unpublished book, which he promptly disregards. He runs up long-distance phone bills to and from important personages like Winston Churchill and Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie. He receives intrusive presents from prominent naturalists, such as live shipments of 4 penguins and an octopus. He invites to a luncheon convicts, including murderers from the Sheridan Whiteside fan club from the state penitentiary. He bullies and exacerbates his nurse to the point where she quits, declaring she has changed her mission in life from relieving the suffering of humanity to working at a munitions factory. Whiteside encourages young adults Richard and June Stanley to pursue their dreams, contrary to the wishes of their conventional father. He declares that Ernest Stanley's odd sister Harriet is right out of the Hound of the Baskervilles, trying to recall where he has seen her face before. Meanwhile, Whiteside's assistant, Maggie Cutler, finds herself attracted to local newspaperman Bert Jefferson. When Bert reads his play to her, she is so impressed, she asks Whiteside to show it to his contacts. After a few dates, she announces she will quit Whiteside's employment to marry Bert, though Bert does not know it yet. Bert gives her a gold charm bracelet as a Christmas present, and they flirtatiously banter. Loath to lose such an efficient aide, Whiteside does his best to sabotage the blossoming romance. He exaggerates the effects of his injuries to extend his stay in the house to further his sabotage. Luring glamorous actress Lorraine Sheldon with the prospect of a leading role in an important new play by an up-and-coming playwright, he intends Lorraine to steal Bert away from Maggie. Lorraine convinces Bert to spend time with her to fix up the play. Threatened by Lorraine's presence, Maggie conspires with Whiteside's friend Beverly Carlton, a practical joker and accomplished mimic, to impersonate Lorraine's wealthy would-be prospect Lord Cedric Bottomley, whom Lorraine has pursued relentlessly for months, luring Lorraine back to Palm Beach with a telephone proposal from Lord Bottomley. When Lorraine discovers the ruse, she vows to take Bert from Maggie. When Maggie realizes Whiteside is behind the underhanded scheme with Lorraine, she quits. Somewhat chastened, Whiteside concocts a plan to get Lorraine out of the way with the help of his friend Banjo. Appealing to Lorraine's vanity, they trick her into acting out a scenario and stepping into an Egyptian sarcophagus, slam it shut, and then ship her off to Nova Scotia. Finally fed up with his shenanigans, meddling insults, and unbearable personality, Mr. Stanley swears out a warrant ordering Whiteside to leave in 15 minutes.
I can't blame him.
However, with seconds to spare, Whiteside recalls that Stanley's sister, Harriet, has a past as an infamous axe murderess, and blackmails Stanley by threatening to expose her. He forces Mr. Stanley to drop the warrant and further to allow his children to do as they please. As Whiteside departs, First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt calls on the phone. Distracted by the last-minute notification, Whiteside falls on the Stanley's icy steps again and is carried back inside, much to Mr. Stanley's consternation. Meanwhile, Eleanor Roosevelt is forgotten, left unattended on the phone in the commotion. Getting into the trivia for this, Moss Hart and George S. Kaufman, authors of the play from which the film was adapted, were good friends with Alexander Woollcott, a famous critic, radio personality, and lecturer at the time. Woollcott requested that they write a play for him, but they never came up with a plot. One day, Woollcott came to visit Hart unexpectedly and turned his house upside down, taking over the master bedroom, ordering Hart's staff around, and making a general nuisance of himself. When Hart told Kaufman of the visit, he asked, "Imagine what would have happened if he broke his leg and had to stay." They looked at each other and knew they had a play.
Makes sense.
Betty Davis saw The Man Who Came to Dinner on Broadway and immediately wanted to play the role of Maggie, the antithesis of her usual roles. She wanted the role desperately because she wanted to act opposite John Barrymore, who was to play Sheridan. Or she wanted to play Sheridan. At her insistence, Warner Brothers tested Barrymore for the role, but his failing health and inability to remember his lines cost him the job. Davis always said that she would have rather have acted with Barrymore reading from cue cards than with anyone else. And as such, even though to do this seems like it was a lot of her idea, she actually is disappointed with this movie because she didn't get to act with John Barrymore.
Yeah, she didn't get what she wanted.
Which I believe is the grandfather of Drew Barrymore,
Yes,
for those who are making the
It is
connection.
the grandfather.
So, Jacob, what is your first like for this film?
All right, so my first like would be Whiteside himself, played by Monty Woodley. Be like, I actually enjoyed his performance. I was like, at first I was like, man, this is a mean old codger.
That's good because he's actually the one who did it on Broadway.
Yeah, he was. And he reprised the role on a TV special, which apparently he hated. But I enjoy his performance. I love his bombastic performance as this very stuffy, very what's a good adjective to describe someone who is uppity and think they're better than everybody else?
I mean, there's one word, but this is a family-friendly show, and I'm not going to say that.
Well,
but obstinate.
There's a good obstinate. Yeah, just be like this very, uptight. I'd be like
Holier than thou.
Yeah, that's a good one. Holier than thou. Be like ordering everybody around. Be like this the kind of guy that is very
entitled. Artsy, as Artsy Stuff says.
That would go.
That's the word we're looking for.
That would go. Entitled. Very entitled. Because he is a famous writer?
No, he's a radio personality.
He's a radio personality.
He's
That's
a radio
right.
announcer.
For some reason, I kept thinking he was a writer. But radio personality.
This is in the age, of course, before television.
That is true.
Everyone got their entertainment from the radio.
Of course.
So a lecturer, much like a podcast lecturer.
Exactly, like we do now.
Right, like we're doing. That's basically he's us.
Yeah, self-centered.
He's a
we're not self-centered.
He's a 1940s podcaster.
Yeah, that's true. But anyways, he's shoving people around. He is the word is failing me about the way he treats his nurse.
Once again, there's a word but this is a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
Because he is not kind with her.
No, he's not. He is very, very cruel and very snarky towards everything. He'd be like, he puts her down every single. I love his snarkiness.
Yes.
Love it. It's like, oh my gosh, he comes up with the greatest, snarkiest puns ever. It's like you bombastic boob. What do you get out of here? It's like, just his performance is so dynamic. Egotistical, agreed.
Yeah.
Good one. I would agree. Be like, he's very egotistical. And that doesn't really slow down. And like once he realized to be like, there's a game to go, and like there's something I want from something, I'm going to take to the ends of the earth in order to achieve it or to take it. Like his assistant.
Spoiled,
self-centered. Yes. Snarky. I like the one with snarky. It's very snarky, very full of himself, very self-centered. Like Wendy said. But I absolutely be like, when he's on camera, he's on the stage, he is eating everything up and everybody else around him. If it's from his posh friends from Florida to everybody around him, he just belittles and betroubles everybody around him. Because, again, he's a very selfish person. And it's just, I love the way he just absorbs everything around him and just makes it his. And it's just like, I like the kind of, be like, he's the villain, but he's the kind of villain you like, actually, in a lot of ways.
He's a Gaston.
Yes, he's very much a Gaston. Be like, he takes control of the entire situation and everybody's eyes are on him. Because, again, be like, he's a very popular, well-known radio host.
With the exception that Gaston got along with everyone but Belle.
That is true. His one true prey he could not capture.
Whereas most of the people, with the exception of the famous ones, do not like this guy.
That is true.
Well, mostly it's just the Stanleys that don't like the guy.
Yeah, Stanleys don't like him.
But that's fair, because
be like, you just took over our house and demanding we do all this stuff. It's like, okay.
Mainly it's Mr. Stanley. Mrs. Stanley would have been fine.
She's over the moon with this guy. It's just nuts.
Except also not.
Yeah, it's true.
I felt sorry for her.
I felt bad for both of them, let's be honest. But getting back to Whiteside, to be like, I just love his performance. It was captivating the entire time, and I just could not get enough of his character. And now, like, doing a little bit of research, okay, that makes sense why this character acts the way they do. But we're not going to go there on this show. But overall, I thoroughly enjoyed the performance of a Mr. Woolley. So, yes, that is my first like. What is your first like?
I'm going to branch off of that because he is actually one of the most entertaining parts of this film, which is good because despite being basically the villain of the story, he's also the protagonist.
Yes,
because everything centers around him. But the thing is, he's being a general jerk about the whole thing, which is like,
that's saying lightly about it.
I'm trying not to use the word I want to use because this is a family friendly show. But
he wants to say bleep.
Yeah, that. But him being, I say he's the protagonist, and it's because I really can't point to anyone else being the actual quote unquote protagonist besides Cutler, the secretary.
Yeah,
Betty Midler. Betty Midler. That is not the
Betty Midler. No,
Betty. Now I'm gonna have to look at it because I'm just gonna get it wrong if I keep trying to say it. Betty Davis. Where I was getting Miller. I was thinking Bette Midler.
Yeah,
that's what it was coming down to, and it's only because the names are similar. Anyway,
exactly.
Betty Davis's character is who I'm trying to say.
Yes,
she's the closest thing to a protagonist, and even then, she's not in like the last quarter of the film for the most part.
She literally disappears.
Because after she is angry and Whiteside is just trying to do everything he can to figure out a way to keep her from quitting, basically, because she's not in it. And I think it's the fact that he does realize that Betty Davis's character is probably more important to him than anything else he's got, because it's not. I think honestly, I really do think he does care for her to a degree.
He does.
At the same time, he still knows that she's the one who has been his best assistant this whole time and all that stuff, and definitely does not want to lose her.
No,
even though it's his, and throughout the whole film, he's doing his best not to lose her, which is why he was trying to get her to get Bert Jefferson, out of her life completely, so she'd still work for him. Because, the way his personality moves from, I'm needing to keep her here, so I'm going to make sure that her boyfriend goes away, to no, the boyfriend needs to stay because otherwise I will definitely lose her. Or I may be losing her either way. At least this way she'll be happy. And yet, still at the very end, when they're leaving, I don't quite remember if she was still going to work with him. Yeah, she was still going to work with him because Bert Jefferson was getting his play handled by somebody else through Sheridan's contacts.
Yes.
So yeah, it was interesting because he did have character growth, unlike the movie last week.
Yes.
So I did appreciate that, but the fact that he is able to cause so much chaos in this one house, just for his own entertainment,
yes,
more
agreed.
than anything else, I find it a very interesting idea. So yeah. Sheridan Whiteside is my first like for this one, because for one thing, you don't have a film without him being this agent of chaos in this house.
Oh yeah, agreed.
And upsetting the status quo of everyone around him.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So and like you said, he is chewing the scenery the whole time.
Oh yeah, agreed.
So yeah, Sheridan Whiteside is my first like for this film. What is your second like?
So I'm gonna be like you. You said something that kind of lit a bulb inside one of my likes, and I realized, oh yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of this movie. It's the point where I'm going to look at notes because I'm terrible at names. Is the chemistry, even though these two people apparently did not like each other whatsoever in real life, they played excellently chemistry wise in the movie, which that would be Monty Woodley and Betty Davis. Betty Davis. Be like, the fact would be like, these people did not like each other very much, and performance wise, be like, as professionals, they didn't like each other, but their chemistry, the point where it's the game is starting to devolve around them. It's like, oh, okay, be like, oh, I saw this person in a phone booth. It's just right around the corner. It's the weirdest thing. And be like, Betty Davis' character is just eating this up. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I know what's going on. Be like, yeah, okay, yeah. And so be like the banter between each other, and it's just, I particularly love the scene where Betty Davis' character, Maggie Keller. Maggie Keller's character, Maggie Keller goes to the couch and says, "Oh, hey, it's snowing outside, Sherry. Be like, isn't it beautiful days? And he just snaps back with, be like, shut your pretty face." It's just like, the chemistry these two characters have. I love it. The solid banter of they're trying to get one up on each other the entire time. I loved it. I was like, okay, this is good. This is really, really good when they realize the game is afoot.
Yeah.
They realize the game has been found, and now they're having to pivot the entire time. And I am not referring to a couch. You have to pivot. But I've
never seen Friends, so I don't fully get the joke.
Oh, wow. Okay. That is. I'm not gonna say we watched Friends as like a TAS, but yeah.
I would like to point out I made the connection, even if I've never seen it though.
Fair, but I'd be like the dynamic and the constant banter between the two characters is just so lusciously dynamic. So that is my second like. is that the nurse and I just forgot what he does.
The doctor?
No.
Which character?
Who was I just talking about?
Sheridan?
Yeah,
the radio personality.
Yeah, thank you. Radio personality. Yeah, I just love their dynamics. So what is your second like?
My second like is one scene in particular that I feel is so perfect and so encapsulates what is fun about this film. And that is the scene where in the last 15 minutes, actually I think it's within the last 10 minutes before Sheridan's going to get kicked out of the house, he's there talking with Banjo and Lorraine. And he gets delivered this Egyptian sarcophagus.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And Lorraine is so taken aback and wants to do this performance because she is artistically inspired by the existence of this thing. Yeah, and the whole back and forth of she's almost in there and they've almost got it closed in on her because what they're wanting to do is get her out of there so that Burt Jefferson can't leave with her since she's now become like enemy number one in the household. Yeah, which I have a problem with later. And Banjo is going to take her off to Nova Scotia. I even mentioned this part in the synopsis. But the whole scene where she's backing up in there and holding her hands across her chest like a corpse, and then before they can close the door, she's out walking around again because oh no, that doesn't work. And they try to go through it again, and it's that little bit of comedic frustration because they get close and then they don't do it, so they have to get to where finally they get her in there, then they get the door shut and Banjo runs off with her. And if you can't tell, Banjo is technically based off one of the Marx Brothers.
He is.
I think what my notes said specifically Harpo, but I could be wrong.
I can't tell you.
But he is very energetic, very. Well, let's face it. At one point, Sheridan's on the phone with him while he's out in California, and they're in the middle of a conversation, and Banjo sees a nice young blonde. And just walks away from the phone to chase her
because he's Banjo. And
Sheridan just says, "If I know Banjo like I think I do, we got interrupted by a hot blonde." Probably. It's like, okay, so this is the kind of guy he is. Yeah. And he's very much very energetic. I'm doing everything I do is for the bit. Very much for the bit. And he agrees to help Sheridan get her out of there. And they use the sarcophagus to do it, and it's hilarious. Once they finally get in there, and they just get it out, and they take her out, and it's like, oh, where'd she go? Oh, she's on a trip to Nova Scotia to see a friend.
Horrible.
It's like, horrible. But the scene is so funny.
It is funny.
As you're watching it. The whole back and forth, and there are moments of things similar to this throughout the film, which is why it's classified technically as a screwball comedy. And so yeah, it is that scene in particular is just one of my favorite scenes in the film. So it's my second like. What's your third like?
My third like would be the fact to be like there's so much absurdity, it's actually funny. Because again, like Drew just said, it's a screwball comedy. And again, most of my I don't really like screwball comedies. But overall I really enjoyed this for the most part. Again, my dislikes are a little bit finicky, my own opinion, my observation, but I think this is a funny little film. Be like, it's so absurd half the time. I'm like, what in the world? As the movie progresses, it gets just weirder and weirder and weirder. Be like, the poor Sheridans are just be like, they're prisoners in their own home. They can't do anything, and be like be like he orders an octopus, then he gets this, and then this Egyptian sarcophagus shows up out of nowhere.
Sent to him by some prince in Egypt. Yeah. And not Moses.
No.
Or Ramses.
No. And plus, back then, the Egyptians did that all the time because they didn't care.
I mean, they're they were grinding up their mummies into paint.
They were.
So
They were. Just, big.
It shows you how little they care about their pharaohs.
Yeah, just a known fact. Be like back in the 40s when they were just like, oh yeah, do whatever you want. And now they care, obviously, because they care about their heritage.
They realized they could make money off of it.
In somewhat, but there again, we're not trying to downplay our possible listeners in Egypt and the surrounding areas.
We're government is government.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily representative of the people.
Exactly. Either or. Be like, I do love the screwball aspect of the film. Be like, it's funny. There's parts of it I'm like, okay, I'll give that my dislikes later. But overall, I thought it was a funny film. So that is my third like.
My third like, and it does come from being a former stage actor in high school, so admittedly not too much experience in that, but I actually do like the fact that it feels like a stage play.
Yes.
They did not go out of... There's a few scenes that obviously would not have been in the stage play that they filmed that would have maybe in a play format would have taken place off stage.
Right.
But once you're in the house, it's like you can definitely tell this is meant to be the room you're in the whole time. And it's just actors entering at the right time with the timing, and the general chaos just works so well in this one room that I'm glad they did not try to ruin it.
Fair.
By trying to add more and more into than what was actually in the play.
Right.
There's like I said, there are a couple scenes that they obviously filmed different, and one or two of them I could see maybe them actually being able to do in a Broadway play. But for the most part, it's all taking place almost like I could easily see everything once. The entire reason he's in that back room at the very beginning before his entrance, after he falls on his backside, is probably because in the play, that's his entrance into the play. That's his first appearance, because they probably didn't show him actually slipping on the ice and falling on his rear end.
I have no idea
in the play. That's my guess, just by looking at it. And I do appreciate them adding some that visual in, because that is an instigating incident in the story, and it taking place. It would be interesting to see how they might handle that in a stage play environment. But at the same time, I kind of like that. It does feel like I am watching it's true to the play, and I can kind of tell that authenticity, even being not familiar with the play itself. So yeah, I appreciate its authenticity to the source material. As much as I can tell. Dislikes. What is your first?
My first dislike. Again, this is a very common trope of films from the 1930s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s, including the 70s. So, just to take that in consideration. Woman falls in love with a guy on the first date trope, but for this little kicker, in my own opinion, I might be wrong, but it's my opinion. This guy is completely uninterested in her, and she is willing to give up everything to marry him if he will have her. So this whole bit is the fact to be like, she's so in love with this guy that she's willing to throw away her entire career if he'll have her. Be like, not even the fact to be like they're in a relationship or anything, but I don't need a rant master at this.
I know.
But the simple fact, be like, I don't like this trope. I've never liked it. It's the fact to be like, our character falls in love with first sight. I think my wife kind of understands, because she was like, oh, I fell in love with, because like she didn't, be like, it took a couple of years. But this movie, it's like literally she has a date, or they hang out. They hang out and he's being a gentleman. And she's head over heels with this guy, and she's going to leave her job, and she's going to, go live with him, be married if he'll have her. The problem is he almost has no interest in her whatsoever. Be like, yes, he buys her a gift. Yes, they go, be like that conversation about having kids. Be like, hey, that sounds like a good number to me. But most ultimately, he's disinterested in her. The entire movie, for the most part, from my perspective, it drove me nuts. I'm like, okay, so you're willing to throw away your future for no guarantee whatsoever. It's not a leap of faith. It's simply, oh, I like this dude. I'm going to marry him someday.
You don't like the love at first sight trope.
No, I don't. It doesn't really work. It doesn't really work plot-wise. Unless you have the characters who truly fall in love. And these characters do not fall in love. We don't see an end result of this. It might be a result from the play, which is probably true. And it's
I would say it's probably almost a necessary crutch for the runtime. Because in most cases, in order for the story to play the way it's supposed to, they need to be in love, or she needs to be in love with the guy.
Yeah, she
for most of the story.
For her to be in love with him,
right?
There doesn't necessarily have to be equal attraction.
It would be nice if he was showing reciprocation, but they want him to be distracted by getting his play solved.
Getting his play solved, and by the end of the film, he's still more concerned about his play. By the end of it.
I mean, that's his characterization.
Agreed.
To a degree.
And he's a newspaper guy. Yeah. He's looking for the best angle in the world. Be like, oh, this lady's really kind to me about things. But we're really working on stuff. It's really working. And she walks off and he has no clue what's going on because he's not really in love with her. He likes her as a friend. He might have an interest, but his interest is being pulled 20 different ways. And she's head over heels for him. And she's willing to just throw away everything for him. It always drives me nuts.
I would also mention
unless it's resolved in the movie, it just drives me nuts.
Wendy says it's in our chat that it's more pronounced in the play. If I had to make a guess, the play is probably longer than what the movie is. It probably has a longer runtime.
Fair.
And then they can do more stuff like that.
That is fair.
That's his interest in her, I'm guessing, is probably got lost in the adaptation.
Possibly.
For the joke of him, for the plot point of him needing to deal with Lorraine for most of it. And
fair.
Probably what happened is, I'm guessing like I said, I've not read the play, so I don't know. I'm guessing there's a bit of a love triangle going on, because there is kind of a love triangle in the movie.
Yeah, there is,
but there's
always love triangles.
But it's not as pronounced in the movie as I bet it is in the play. So
yeah, it's very similar. Except that it happened on Fifth Avenue. The story did resolve, and these two characters being in quote unquote in love. Because again, what it was like back in those days is unlike our modern interpretation of what falling in love was. You met each other, you dated for a while, and you got married, and you fell in love with each other during then. But again, it always drives me nuts whenever you have films like this, where it's the girl, she's so smitten with him, she's willing to risk everything in order to be with him. And in the movie adaptation, there isn't a solid resolution whatsoever.
It's just a Hans and Anya situation. Anna,
whatever.
There's an old joke. Situation, except that he's not the bad guy that's going to betray her at the end.
No, it's not. Honestly, watching the movie, the fact I thought Whiteside was actually in love with his secretary. That's the whole reason he wanted her to stay around, because he was in love with her.
And that would make sense.
But obviously, it's not the case in the movie.
I could see that, and you could probably do this in a different adaptation, but with the age of the difference in the age of the actors, or the visual age, and this might be me looking at it with a modern eye and not of the time.
Yeah.
He's a little old for her. Perhaps.
Well, it was the 40s.
It was the 40s. Like I said, I could be. I could not be. It could be. I'm looking and going, oh, he's obviously an old man and she's a young woman, and it's like, well, no, in the play they're probably closer to the same age. Fair.
Yeah.
I am just guessing because it's not like they put the ages next to on screen.
They don't.
Obviously, but
she obviously is his younger assistant. So,
yes.
So at first glance, it's like, oh, okay, this is how the story goes. Obviously, it doesn't. But I prefer when you introduce a love story that you at least resolve it by the end of the story. And by the end of this adaptation, it's not really resolved. It's literally she kisses him and runs off. And correction, because like, Whiteside gives his blessing for some reason.
Because he doesn't want to lose her.
He doesn't want to lose her, but at the same time, it's like she just wanders off. Be like, gives him a kiss and wanders off. And there's no resolution to that. Again, like I think like Miss Wendy said in the bed, like it's a little more pronounced. But at the same time, be like, can you just give me that resolution that they are in love with each other? And it's not just this like, be like, I'm smitten for him, I'm going to do anything. And just like, it's almost like even White said later, it's like, and a year later, he'll be coming back to me. Be like, you're just going to be begging for a job. Mm-hmm. Because be like, he's not going to have you. And that's my thought. It would be due to how this movie resolves its story. We don't see the end result of that. So my thought would be...
And now you're getting into my dislike, so...
Yeah. So, again, my theory would be, if based on the resolution of this movie, is that she continues to pursue him, but he's disinterested or whatever, and he never commits to it, and she winds up going back to Whiteside. So, yeah, that's my first dislike. It is a unresolved romance that goes nowhere. Again, that is my opinion.
So, my dislike may help explain why it doesn't get resolved before the end of the movie. Because as far as you're concerned, it just needs to be resolved by the end of the story.
Precisely.
Problem is, the story keeps going after the movie ends. We just don't get to see it. It has no. This is a movie where the end of the movie happens because it is a comedy. So the joke at the end of the film is, he slipped again, and now all this is going to start over again. Which is that's good. That's a great way to end the story. At the same time, but this is a thing that happens in plays, and it's something that does bug me to a degree, and that is a lot of times the ending that I want to see happens off stage, because that's not the point of the play. And this happens a lot with comedies where it's like, no, the whole point is just to laugh at all the funny stuff happening on stage. The story itself is not as important, and the way you can tell is the movie just ends. It ends on a joke, so it's not like it was an unthought out ending.
That's true.
But it does not have a satisfying ending.
It doesn't. It'd be like, understand.
That's part of the joke.
Yeah, agreed.
And I get that.
So
that doesn't mean it doesn't annoy me.
Continue its joke. I'll be like, I would assume it'd probably continue the joke with like, he hurt himself again. You might get more of this. You might get more of the romantic, whatever. But the movie itself, we get no resolution to it. So it was my issue. But yeah,
right. And that's the same kind of the same problem I have. But mine is not just the movie. It's like it's not just the love story. There is no ending to this film other than he slipped and fell again, and they're having to bring him back inside. And Eleanor Roosevelt is on the phone going, "Did they forget about me?" or whatever it was she said. It's like, I get the joke of the ending and how it's like, here we go again. I get that. But as a story, the story has no ending.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's my first dislike, is that the story has no ending.
Oh, okay.
The movie ends, and it's fine the way that the movie ends the way it does, but as someone who wants to be interested in this story, what story there is, this doesn't have an ending. It just starts over again. And I get that that's the joke, but anyway.
Yeah. So my second dislike of this film is what I wrote was story completely unbound itself by the end of the film, because you have this great story of, unfolding of where characters are falling in love with each other. Again, the story, that part of the story really doesn't conclude itself very well. It's just left ambiguous. So we have this entire run of Whiteside trying to get these two to break up where she'll never leave him. And you have this great banter of them to be like, the gig is up, be like, we've discovered what you're doing. And they're like the plot is there, but then all of a sudden, third act, you have Banjo. Yeah, Banjo shows up, and then all of a sudden, again, in my opinion, the story unbounds itself. It becomes untangled, because you have this moment where Whiteside, it's like, oh, I'm going to lose her. You were going to lose her anyway. So why in the world do you have this sudden change of heart? Because you want her to be happy?
I can answer that.
Okay, let me finish.
So go ahead and finish, but then I'll answer.
Okay. It has this it does have this weird, to me, it does have this weird about face for Whiteside. The fact that he had this entire plan to be like, it was going perfectly, and it just starts to unbuckle a little bit. And it's like, oh, you're just a rotten old man. It's like, you knew that from the beginning. Why do you think he'd be any different? And be like, she's mad at him, and he doesn't want her to leave because apparently, like, he loses an assistant, his life falls apart or whatever, so he doesn't want to lose that, even though he knows she's going to leave. No matter what, she's already resigned. She's resigned her post. She's gonna leave anyway, and he just uply decides to be like, oh, I'm going to turn tables around and be like, I'm going to betray my best friend for her, be like, my assistant can now go get the guy of her dreams. Be like, that sudden turn of face was like, okay, that was a little bit odd to me. Now, I do understand where Whiteside does encourage the young couple to fall in love and run off. The younger brother to pursue his dream of photography and go to the north and go shoot great and horrible and mediocre photography. And the father is a very skew, again, it's the 40s, has his children brought back to him because, again, he's a very wealthy man in where's this place? Ohio. Sorry, the other Ohio. But overall, be like, I think it's more of an about face for Whiteside to suddenly betray his other friend who he convinced to have Christmas with him in order to sabotage his secretary's dreams of falling in love with the guy, just where he can still have her as his secretary. And then he about faces, betrays her, and gives his blessing to go after him. Kind of weird to me, but that's just my opinion.
So let me help to answer that. This will be my rebuttal for this.
Okay.
Not really a rebuttal, but more of explanation of what's going on.
Or your attempt to explain it.
Right. I do this from time to time.
He does.
But then, anyway, this is meant to be more conversation than anything else.
Exactly.
You would agree that Whiteside is a master manipulator.
Oh, yeah. By 100%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Up until Stanley comes in with the police and says, you've got 15 minutes to get out of here or you're getting arrested.
Yeah.
Whiteside's entire goal is to keep himself there so that he can keep his assistant from leaving.
Yeah.
And I think really that scene there on Christmas morning where he's not actively pursuing that after she's pretty much said, I'm going, and he's to a degree thinking she's not going to go. She knows she's going to be back here in a year. I think that up until that moment, his goal was to just keep everything going as it is. Then when he was literally in trouble because now he had 15 minutes to get everything moved out of there, as far as he could tell, or he was getting arrested, unless he can find some way to keep things going. He finally realized his brain got to working and began analyzing all the situations and realized there may be a way. There may be a way to keep her and have her marry Jefferson, but I've got to get Lorraine out of here.
Yeah, I see that.
Which is why when Banjo shows up, and Banjo being almost as much an agent of chaos as Sheridan is.
True.
Just a different kind.
True.
Gives him openings that he would not normally have.
That is true.
And admittedly, like you said, everything starts getting resolved. Part of that's because the play is ending.
Yes.
So they got to resolve the play.
Oh, agreed.
At least give resolution to the strings that they have laid out over the course of this whole story.
Agreed.
But another part of it is he's got to find a way in order to save as much face and get out of there without, while still being on top, because he is Whiteside, he must win.
Yeah.
He must win over anybody else. It doesn't matter if he's been in the wrong this whole time, if he's made everybody's life a living Hades.
Oh, believe me, I know that more than most people.
He has to win. Mm-hmm. And it just comes down to he realizes there is a way to get Lorraine out of here. And yeah, I am going to have to eat some crow, because he does.
Of course.
But the minute he finally realizes who Stanley's sister reminds him of, and he realizes that's when he pulls the trigger, because that's when he realizes this is how all this is going to plan out, and that's how he's able to leave without getting arrested, without having to rush everything out of the house in an impossible way, because let's face it, Stanley's 15-minute ultimatum had Sheridan been able to actually start moving stuff out at that time. It was impossible to do.
No, of course not.
And so that was intended as like, I'm going to make sure you get arrested. Him realizing that, he was able to blackmail the Stanleys once again. And and that's why it's all resolving at that point, because Whiteside is a master manipulator. Agreed. And he must win, and he is successful in doing that up until once again he slips and falls on his backside. I
agree,
and everything starts over again.
Or it'd be like, also the fact be like, Stanley does wind up getting the Sheridans' butler and cook to go with him. Be like, because
he recognizes they're actually good servants and they're probably being wasted on the Stanleys.
We don't know. We actually don't know that. But
yeah, but that's kind of
that's
also another.
It's the bit of the comedy.
Bleep you, Stanley.
Yeah, exactly. But be like, I do see the point. I do see where it's like, okay, he does have more of an ultimatum. Be like, he's on a clock and whatever. And the moment where he does realize, like, oh yeah, I can get out of this.
Yeah.
Be like, oh yeah, the sister's an axe murderer. Be like, oh, let me just tell the papers and this and this and this, and be like, backs off. So again, the chief manipulator of everything. Be like, I do agree with that, but I think it was a little bit. Be like, I see where he used the situation to his advantage. I get that.
And I will say, everything is awfully convenient.
Oh, yeah. So convenient.
To the point where I would even give you your normal complaint of plot contrivance.
Yeah, there's a big plot contrivance to this movie. But overall, be like, I think it is, again, thank you. You did remind me of one of my favorite things, plot conveniences and plot contrivances. But yeah, be like, there was like, okay, that's a little too convenient. What happened? Be like, one of your best friends shows up. Again, I do enjoy the one little plot where be like the crazy sister shows up and she's very awkward and weird around Sheridan. And be like, she gives him the picture. I do love that revelation at the end. It's like, okay, that was a good one. That was a good little plot device that Sheridan picked up on. It's like, oh yeah, she murdered her father and mother and father. Okay, let me throw that to the news. Like, okay, fine.
Because apparently she's Maggie Borden.
But It's like, yeah, I do get it with that context. I do get it. But at the same time, like, there's a lot plot convenience going on here just to wrap your story up.
Well, it's a comedy. It's not really meant to be deep. So
yeah, true. Again, anyways, that was my second like. What is your second?
My second dislike is the fact that I had to watch this on Tubi. And I know this is the second week in a row I'm complaining about Tubi. In this case, I'm complaining for entirely different reasons than last week.
Yes.
Because last week the problem was it was a horrible transfer, and I still blame that on MGM. This, I can't blame on Warner Brothers. I have to blame Tubi.
Yeah.
Because every 7 minutes, almost on the dot, every 7 minutes, there was a 5-minute commercial.
At least.
This movie is what? 2 hours, I think?
Hour and 12 minutes.
Hour and 12 minutes.
Or 112 minutes.
It's an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I swear with the commercials, it took me 2 hours and 20 minutes to actually watch the film.
Yeah.
I had to watch it in like stages. I try not to do that because it always ultimately ruins the film for me.
Fair.
Because there's gaps and I have to remember who all these people are. And I think, but you include with that on top of every 7 minutes, it felt like we get, thankfully it's not like in the middle of sentences. It is actually where there's a decent break.
Yeah.
But every 7 minutes it was these other commercials, and a lot of it being, I think I was seeing a lot of Disney Plus commercials for Hoppers.
Yeah, for Hoppers.
And Mandalorian and Grogu, I think, was in there too.
There were.
And it's like, okay, it's fine. But I was so tired of these commercials. Bear in mind, when we were doing a couple years ago, In Search of Titanic, and we're watching it on Tubi.
Oh my god!
I was happy for the commercials because that film
was horrible,
was screwy. And another film we're reviewing later this year, I'm also happy for commercials on Tubi. But in this viewing, I felt like it actually was a deterrent to enjoying the film.
Agreed.
Part of that is, this is not a film that's. This is a film that you're supposed to watch with your full attention. You're not. It's definitely not a second screen experience, and so it being interrupted regularly, I think, does hurt it.
Yeah.
To a degree. So Tubi, the watching experience on Tubi leaves a lot to be desired. I think I would have been fine had the even with the amount of commercial breaks, had it not been 5-minute commercial breaks every time. It's like I kept watching that number. It's like how long this one's going to be. This commercial is going to be. It's like, does every commercial have to be a minute and a half? They're not that bad on television, on broadcast. And it's the same once over and over and over again. And yes, I recognize this is not fair to the movie, but this is me watching the film. And to a degree, I have to talk about my experience watching the film. So yeah, my second dislike for this is that Tubi needs to do a better job of curating their commercials on their streaming service.
Yes.
I recognize beggars can't be choosers. And this is free, and you kind of get what you pay for. Which in my case, nothing. But at the same time, be a little kinder to us. What's your third dislike?
My third is like you literally hit that one right on the head. Mine is the exact same thing as I wrote. So many commercials to be paying with ads, but this is utterly ridiculous. Again, you're sitting there for 5 to 7 minutes watching commercials for every 7 minutes of film you watch. Yeah, because I understand you have to make money off
Yeah.
off your streaming platform. I totally get that.
I recognize
but that is utterly ridiculous.
We both recognize that Tubi can't operate without commercials.
Yeah, because it's a free streaming platform.
Right, and I understand that. I'm just saying, be a little nicer with how you feed them to us.
Not every 7 minutes.
Because here's the thing. Here's the entire point of commercials is to get you to buy stuff, right?
Right.
Or to bring awareness. I don't remember. The only commercial I remember was Hoppers. I'm sure there was. I'm fairly certain I saw drug commercials.
Yeah, they're drug commercials.
Because they went forever. But I couldn't tell you which ones or what they were, what they supposedly solved.
Yeah.
Or what any of the side effects were.
My side effects commercials, I'm bored to death. Move on.
I could guess death was a side effect because if you I do remember one. I do remember one, and it made me laugh because it's like it was for some medicine.
Yeah,
and it says if you are allergic to this medicine, don't take it. I'm like, first off, how do you know if you're allergic to this medicine without having took it? And secondly, duh. I know there's stupid people out there, but come on.
You think? But yeah, I'll be like, my third is his second dislike is the fact that the commercials, again, be like, I understand, Tubi, you have to pay for your streaming platform. You have to pay the bills. I get it. But the fact be like, every 7 minutes, you put us through at least 5 to 7 minutes of commercials.
And this is the worst experience I think I've had on Tubi. But Grant, this is also probably the most high profile thing I've seen on Tubi. So
right. What is your third dislike?
My third dislike is I couldn't connect with this one for whatever reason. I could blame it on the commercials all I want.
Right.
But I think that to a degree, when this movie started, and granted, here's the thing, folks. I don't read synopsi before watching the film. It's not that I'm trying to avoid spoilers necessarily. And I kind of am, because I don't want to, if there's a twist at the end, I don't want to know about it until I experience it. But for the most part, I want to watch the film and be able to figure out the story while I'm watching.
Right.
Because that's what I get the most experience. That's what I get the most fun out of. Yes, I enjoy rewatching a movie I've seen a couple times, or having read the book it was based on from time to time. But when I'm going into a movie I've never seen before, I almost don't want to know what it's about. So I'm going into this movie. The only thing I know is it's not the movie I thought we were watching originally. And that it's a black and white film, and that Wendy had said and was adamant that this was not a Christmas movie.
Shocker.
Which, admittedly, every other movie she's paid us for have been Christmas movies. Yes. So it's like, okay.
Well, there is a Christmas aspect to it. But
yes, but that's not the point of it.
Right.
So it's like, this is all I know going into it. So I don't even read the synopsis when I pick it. I'm just watching, and so I'm meeting the characters as I'm doing it. My brain is automatically going, who's the main character? Who's the villain? How are all these things connected? And the fact of the matter was, it took me until about halfway through the film to realize that Whiteside, while the villain, is also the main character.
He is.
And is the person we are watching the story through. Mm-hmm. And that nobody else is really the hero of this story, for lack of a better term. Mm-hmm. Now, granted, this is a screwball comedy. It's meant to be a comedy of errors to a degree. Granted, it's all under the watchful gaze of the master manipulator, Sheridan Whiteside, but it's still, to a degree, a comedy of errors. Mm-hmm. And that's the whole gag. Had I actually paid attention to some of this beforehand, probably would have known that, admittedly.
Yeah.
But there was nothing. But the first couple minutes of this, it's you get the Stanleys, where you get which you get the idea that, the wife's an airhead who is just in this because it's popular and for the prestige of having this very famous person come to her dinner. And then Stanley, who really doesn't, Mr. Stanley, who doesn't really care about any of this and is just doing this, agreed to do this to placate his wife. Mm-hmm. And you get Sheridan, who obviously does not want to be there. Mm-hmm. And Maggie, who is convincing him, you need to do this because this is good publicity. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at it going, okay, I can tell. And in my mind, I'm going, who are these characters? Who's the important one? Who is actually the main person of this story? And the minute you get to that next scene after he slips and falls on his butt, and they're doing the back and forth and setting up, showing the amount of chaos going on in there, and he comes out and he's automatically going to sue for however much money. Mm-hmm. And going, you're the villain, obviously. Are the Stanleys the main character? No. Is Maggie the main character? Kind of. Is Burt Jefferson the main character? Definitely not. And then everyone else, and that's pretty much what I would call the main cast.
Yeah.
Because everyone else comes in at different points. And it took me, and like I said, it took me till halfway to realize the villain of the story is the main character. And because I spent all this time in watching, trying to figure out who am I supposed to be connecting with, and realizing that the people who I feel I should be connecting with are not getting the treatment those connections need, I couldn't connect. Until I finally realized Sheridan's the one I'm actually supposed to be viewing this through. He's the person whose eyes we're seeing this story through. Uh-huh. It took me until that point, and at that point, it's like, well, now that I know that, I either need to continue the movie as is, or I need to start the movie over and see it from a better point of view. And just because of the way the timetables landed, I just had to finish the movie. I am perfectly willing to watch this movie at a later date after, some time has passed. It's not a recent watch. Mm-hmm. But with this knowledge that Sheridan Whiteside is the focal point character, and I might enjoy it more that way. Granted, if I do that, it's going to be on. It's not going to be on Tubi. I'll tell you that right now.
That's fair.
I will. I know I have ways of getting a hold of it without going to Tubi and without spending a lot of money on a physical version, and they are legal because friends. But in this viewing, I could not connect. If I was watching this in an actual stage show, i.e., I'm at an actual theater to watch this play, and I'm sitting there with a bunch of people, and I can just kind of lose myself in the group emotion. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think I would have connected far faster because I wouldn't be watching this like I watch a lot of films when I'm by myself, where I'm trying to piece together where everything is instead of just experiencing the film. Yeah. So yes, I will admit my third dislike is a me problem.
Fair.
And it's that because of the way I tend to watch films, especially for the show and for my own enjoyment, instead of just experiencing the film the way it's intended to be, I tried to read. I got lost early on trying to figure out who I was supposed to be paying attention to as the main character, because the person who was the main character I kind of written off as he's the villain. That's just going to make everyone's day worse.
Fair.
Which meant, this is another one of those weird things for me. If I kind of need to like the character. Granted, I got to where I like Sheridan, but when I first was watching this, I was like, well, boo-hoo on you. You need to get over yourself, Sheridan. Like I said, didn't know this was a screwball comedy.
That's fair.
I'm going into it thinking this is somewhat of a drama that's going to have some funny bits. And that's not what it is.
No.
It's literally, I was confused on what this film was, and it wasn't what I was expecting, and I went into it wrong, and I didn't connect. My score will be objective and not taking into, I will be taking into the consideration my disconnect.
Yeah.
So it's going to be higher than probably it's going to sound when I do my rating.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did not connect because I misinterpreted going into this what this was. So that's on me.
Yeah. So I want to take really fast a comment that Wendy put on Facebook. Would you bring that up on the main screen?
I'm assuming the big one.
Yes.
You want that bigger?
Yes. Thank you. I have new glasses coming. These are a little bit out of date.
Fair enough.
Part of their relationship is that she's an amazing assistant, but she does not fawn over him or stroke his ego like others do. They put. Let me finish.
No, you're fine. I just realized it's not going to show the whole comment.
Yeah, you're fine. They put him. They put him with.
They put up with him.
They put up with him because of who he is. She likes him and works hard to become as a good assistant, but she does not fall.
And I'm going to have to go back to the other way.
Go ahead, you're fine.
She does not fall.
Where was I?
But it doesn't fall over herself to stroke. I think she means stroke his ego.
Yeah, to stroke his ego.
Deep down, he respects that, so he doesn't want to lose her.
Yeah, that's fair. That is completely, utterly fair. I do agree with that. I do like their dynamics as characters. And I think it's what makes the movie charming in a lot of ways. Because Betty Davis, and then you have Woodley? Yeah. Woodley be like, as actors, be like, they play very well off each other, even though historically they didn't like each other, apparently. But nuance.
I think it really more comes down to Betty Davis was disappointed that she didn't get to act with John Barrymore.
Yeah,
I think she doesn't really mind the performance, and that she looked at it in a negative light because it wasn't John Barrymore.
Yeah, she didn't get her way.
Right. And plus, ironically, she was acting like Sheridan.
Yeah, that's fair. And plus, it's understandable to be like, it's like, because the first guy be like, he was dealing with Alzheimer's. Or he was Alzheimer's. He couldn't remember his lines. It was just a miserable time, and they just couldn't use anything he did. Even with cue cards, he just couldn't do it. So, they used the guy from the play, and I think they made a very wise choice with that.
Yeah, and obviously the guy knew that part very well because he did a very good job with it.
Yeah, 671 performances as that one actor. That one character, you kind of know it by heart. So, what is our score on this? What is your score, Drew?
Believe it or not, I'm giving this a 7.
Okay.
I know it sounds like I was kind of down on it for a bit, and I know to a degree I am giving it a little bit of a boost because I'm fairly certain now that I understand the context better, I'll probably enjoy the film on a second viewing.
Fair.
Especially if I'm not having to go through so many commercials on Tubi. But it's a good film. It's done well. And most of my problems with it are me things, not the movie's things. So, yeah. What is your rating on this?
I'm going to give it an 8. I think it's a very well done movie. I think there's a little, the plot kind of goes back over itself with the ending because again it's a comedy. But I was I wanted to see a resolution to the relationship and not just kind of it's left ambiguous.
That's another reason I kind of want to actually see the play version where it's not going to have that edited out. Yeah,
or it's more implied in the Broadway performance, which apparently was a really very well received back in the 30s. During the Great Depression. So but overall, I thought it was a good movie. There were little aspects of here and there that I was like, okay. Well, once you kind of once I was able to resolve that issue, it's like, okay, this is a pretty good movie. I really enjoyed it. again, it does have more of those very classical tropes of woman falls in love with guy at first sight, and she's gonna, she's gonna run off and get married to him if he'll have him, that kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe it's my modern sensibilities or whatever. It can modern times, but yeah.
It can be very hard in 2026 to remember you can't look at a film from that era with modern eyes, because films were different back then.
Agreed. Storytelling was different.
Oh yeah.
But overall, I'll give it an 8. It's a good movie. I thought it was funny. I loved a lot of the performances. Definitely a lot of the banter was very good. I was like, wow, I wish I could be that quick-witted about things. But overall, yeah, I enjoyed it.
So, next week, we are going to be reviewing a recent film that came out earlier this year.
Yeah, very early.
Around Easter, despite the fact it's not really an Easter movie.
No.
Even though it is biblical. We're going to be reviewing the film David.
It didn't come out around Easter. It came out the very end of last year.
I thought it was... Well, I have my timetable wrong.
Yeah.
In my mind, this was... There may have just been a different one that came out at Easter that was Angel Studios.
Maybe. Yeah,
Either way, it's an Angel Studios film. It's the first time we've done an Angel Studios film on here.
David.
So, yeah, David, join us for that next week. In the meantime, we're going to play some bumpers and then talk about some Batman.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
This week, we suggest checking out the Retro Rewind podcast. Every other week, you can join the Retro Rewind pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games and establishing what is still worth your time today. You can expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco Paul and a rotating group of guest hosts who are all at a time. Check them out at firejoystudios.com. The Cellcast would also like to thank the following patrons. First off, Wendy and Primo, who paid us directly for reviewing this film. Also, Edwin Gonzalez, The Book of Gaming, Artsy Steph, PaulGPowers.com, and the Monster Island Film Vault. If you would like to have your name shouted out on the show, plus episodes of our Patreon exclusive show, We're Just Super Saiyan, returning in August, you can donate to our Patreon at the $1 level. At the $5 level, you can get all that, plus uncut episodes of the Cellcast with no ads, plus some special art from Jacob when he can get to it.
Well, I need to put myself on a schedule to do this.
We all have these kind of problems sometimes. Anyway.
Moving right along.
And at the $10 level, in 2027, you can do like Wendy did and force us to review a film within reason. Because we do reserve the right to say no. Just ask our good friend. That's our Bobo.
Yeah.
Because we did have to put a kibosh on one of the things he suggested.
Because it was a bit... Yeah.
It was... Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It was just like, what not bad in the bad way, but it's just like, this was...
It was modern art, we'll say. They made our postmodern art.
Yeah, postmodern.
But, yeah. You can also check out our Redbubble store for stickers, t-shirts, and other various items. And if you want to support us without spending any money, please rate, review, and subscribe to us wherever you found us, and share us with your friends.
I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. 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 There is a song the good folks sing.
I don't even follow where you come up with these sometimes.
Again, it's an ADD brain. Be like,
Fair enough. Our first episode tonight is Mean Seasons First aired April 25th, 1998. It is production episode 98, broadcast episode 94. Directed by Hiroyuki Ayoma and written by Hilary J. Bader. In this episode, Batman and Batgirl oppose Calendar Girl, a mysterious woman who is attacking various youth-oriented media events. New cast for this episode, we've got Sayla Ward as Calendar Girl, a.k.a. Paige Monroe. Barry Botwick as Irv Kleinman, a.k.a. Bernie Benson. And Bernie Benson.
Yeah, and
played
Bernie
both
Benson.
characters.
Yes.
Tippi Hedren played Donna Day. Dennis Haysbert, Barclay James, and Miriam Flynn played a Zaltig lady. Trivia for this episode. Calendar Girl is voiced by Sayla Ward, an actress who at the time this episode was made was conducting a protest campaign against Hollywood's emphasis on youth and its harmful effects on public perception. This episode, the villainess of which is a beautiful woman who has nonetheless been cruelly marginalized after she turned 30, could be construed as part of the same campaign. Calendar Girl's sarcastic remark about dinosaurs, as well as the ripples in the pool from the Tyrannosaurus's rumbling footsteps, are clear references to Jurassic Park from 1993. Calendar Girl's
Clever girl.
henchmen... Sorry, what?
Clever girl.
Yes. Calendar Girl's henchmen are clearly costumed to resemble Chippendale dancers.
Think?
And no, I do not mean the Rescue Rangers.
No, they're not chipmunks.
And lastly, I wasn't expecting that to be what broke you. Lastly, the character of Calendar Girl is an original creation for the animated series and is in no way connected to the comic book villain Calendar Man.
That's what I thought. And I was like, oh, okay. Cool.
But yeah, I assumed, because it really did seem like Calendar Man.
Right.
But I'm guessing maybe they created her without knowledge of Calendar Man.
Oh, they probably did,
Just
but-
so happened to match up.
Probably.
So, yeah. What is your thoughts on this episode?
My thoughts were be like you have this cross between vanity and age. You have this almost this but again it's kind of expectation. Be like you have these young actors and actresses come in and be like they're glamorized and they're adored and fame, and once they hit a certain age it's like kicked to the curb and be like, and you have this exact sounder with this character Calendar Girl. Calendar Girl. Again, I'm horrible with names, even if I read them. If I can read them sometimes. But either or. It does not mean I'm less intelligent. It just means sometimes I can't read sometimes.
Fair enough.
Either or. What was I saying when I went to a rant?
Calendar
Girl. Calendar Girl be like a young woman who has spent ages trying to make herself look younger through fitness, through cosmetics, through surgeries, what have you, nips and tucks, what have you. And you're through the entire course of the show, you have this notion, be like she wears a mask because she's now disfigured, and she wants to take revenge against everybody. But once you realize, once Bullock, you be like, again, I do like Bullock's design in this.
Yes, he was
New Adventures.
He's one of the ones who got a good redesign.
Yeah, he got a really good redesign. The fact to be like he takes her mask off and she looks, as Batgirl's barber says, Billy, she looks gorgeous. And Batman says very poignant. The fact to be like, she can't see that now. All she sees is the flaws. She sees the wrinkles. She sees this. And be like, and that's the one thing we have of vanity. We look at ourselves and be like, we want to see the younger self. Be like, you look at celebrities nowadays who are getting older and they're trying everything they can in order to slow down age. You have the fact that we have a man nowadays is spending, I think it's like $500,000 a day with treatments and everything in order to stay young. Yeah. Is it going to work? No, because you cannot stop the progression of time, because at one point or another, God's going to go snap and you're gone. But I understand this idea to be like, you want to look your best. You want to be, put your best foot forward, and be like, sometimes we do struggle with the vanity. We do struggle with that. And I think it's it's one thing that some people don't deal with, they don't struggle with, but I think internally be like, you do care what people think of you. You do care how you look and how you dress. And so there is a part of vanity in all of us. I think as a Christian, as a born-again Christian, you want to stay away from vanity because then be like, you become an idol unto yourself. But at the same time, be like, it's not bad to look bad in front of people. It's like you can dress yourself nice and everything. But as long as you're not trying to appease others, be like, if you're dressing for yourself and to make yourself maybe feel better about yourself, that might not be a bad thing. But overall, be like, yeah, I enjoyed this episode. I was getting a little tired of the puns, all the calendar puns the entire time. I'm like, okay.
Think this is the episode with the puns that bugged you?
Oh, no. The next one bothered me beyond belief. Yeah, but yes.
Like, this is the one?
No. Be like, no, let me finish. Let me finish.
I get it.
Yeah. Just like the little puns are like, okay, all the calendar puns. I'm like, oh, okay, trick or treat. Okay, we get it. Ha, ha, ha. And I did enjoy the message to be like the fact that she has become so obsessed. She can't see her natural beauty anymore. All she sees is the flaws and how she looks anymore. Because I thought that was a very well executed ending to this episode. So yeah, that's what I think of this episode. The meaning of the title always is like, well, what is this episode called again?
Mean Seasons.
Mean Seasons. Okay, I get the seasons, but okay, now I get it. Never mind. Yeah. A little too slow on the draw on that one, Jacob. There you go.
Admittedly, I think they're most of these styles have some creativity
to
them, and I really don't get what the this one is like the least creative one we've had so far with the title. So
that'd be like you have your season to shine. Be like people who have been mean to her. So they have cast her aside. They've been mean to her. Some mean seasons. So she's taking revenge on those.
Right. I get what the title means. It's just this is not a clever play on words like most of the other titles for Batman and Ben. So anyway, this is an interesting episode. I do like you brought up the whole bit about how she don't like what Batman says at the end, where it's like. She doesn't see the beauty anymore. She can only see the flaws.
Yes.
Throughout the whole episode, I kind of knew at the end of this, the mask was going to come off and we were going to see what she actually looked like. And I kind of knew going into it, if there's any blemish on this woman, it's going to be so minute, it's not going to be noticeable to us, especially on 480i, especially on an episode that's designed to be seen on 480i televisions in 1997. I was literally expecting when the mask came off was it to be like, especially since this would be the same writing team, I was expecting it to be like Dot's cutie mark in Wacko's Wish. You know, she had that big plastic surgery at the end because that's what they needed the halfpenny for. Yeah. And it was literally just to put a little black dot on her.
Yeah.
And it's like, I was expecting that to be this. It's like, all it would be is like a little mole that the plastic surgeon messed up on. It's right there. And that'd be the only thing we see. The fact that she had nothing on it, nothing at the end was like, okay, this is a little more poignant because there's literally the way it's drawn. There are no flaws. And most of the flaws are going to be imagined by her, but then she's also post 30. We all have some wrinkles of some kind post 30. Minor, admittedly, but it's mostly in her brain, in her head. And she's obviously developed a neuroses about her looks and how it's cost her job, her jobs. Because, you know, everyone wants younger women.
Yeah. Younger actors.
Younger actors, which that's the name of the game. You knew that going into it.
Right.
Now, that being said, to quote that Friends episode you brought up earlier, she should have been able to pivot in her career and just go for jobs that were not what she was able to get before. And granted, they tried. They got her a sitcom.
Yeah, but it didn't pick up.
But it didn't get picked up because they wanted a younger audience.
Yeah.
Which, okay.
Which is, I think, why she's such about revenge.
There's other things you could go for. Lady, you're mad because life happened. And you need to get over it. I'm sorry. Get over yourself, woman.
Some people don't.
I know.
A lot of people don't.
And like I said, this isn't... It's obvious she has a neuroses.
Yes.
And that's kind of what they're getting at is this woman is so in perfectly good shape and could still do lots of lots of good things, but she's so broken up over these flaws that are mostly in her head.
Yeah.
Because she happened to be taken off of 3 different campaigns and had a television show canceled out from under her. And admittedly, that probably means over the last year, she hasn't been able to get a job.
Yeah. Her ego
I can
was
understand the
extremely
stress
bruised.
from that. At the same time, you do own a nightclub that you have made into your evil lair. What if you, I don't know, fixed it up and opened it as a nightclub and made some money from that? And then, as that's going, maybe then you can try for other acting jobs. Maybe I'm bringing too much sense to this, but
maybe.
At the same time, because I get the point that Hollywood focusing on younger is kind of dangerous. I do get that point, but younger, prettier people is just who Hollywood hires because that's mostly who we care about. That's
Sadly.
really more on us than Hollywood because Hollywood's just trying to sell us what we'll buy.
True.
Granted, they're also being very picky about what they actually show us. So it's a push me, pull you sort of thing.
That's true. So I'd be like, there was one piece of scripture that I've heard over and over again that kind of fits very apropos to this. Ecclesiastes. Be like, again, I'm going to butcher this name. I apologize.
It's a hard word in general, so don't feel bad.
Nuance. Chapter 1, verse 2. Vanity is vanity, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What does man gain by all the toil at which his toil is under the sun? A generation goes and a generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises, the sun sets. It hastens to the place where it will rest. The winds blow to the west and have gone to the north, and around go the wind. And in a circuits, the winds continue. Basically, everything just continues, and it's all vanity. That's all.
That's almost depressing.
Yeah, it's very depressing.
But I will say, she is devaluing herself because of this, and that's where she's really falling into this trouble. She's so focused on, I'm not who I was 10 years ago, that she's devaluing herself when like Batgirl says, she is beautiful. She just doesn't, and Batman says she doesn't see it anymore.
She can't see it anymore.
So anyway, next episode.
Wolf.
Critters.
Oh my God.
First aired September 18th, 1998.
Let me do a physical eye roll.
Production episode 99. Broadcast episode 100. Directed by Dan Reba and written by Joe R. Lansdale and based on a story by Steve Gerber. There's a surprise.
Yeah.
Synopsis for this episode. A ruined agricultural breeder of dangerously oversized livestock plots his revenge on Gotham City.
Including praying mantis for some weird reason.
New cast in this episode. We've got Peter Breck as Farmer Brown and a goat.
Goat. Oh, yeah, the goat that comes in, yeah.
Yes. And Dina Sherman as Emmy Lou Brown, his daughter. Trivia for this episode. According to the audio commentary, this is considered one of the most fan-reviled episodes of the series.
Yes. Think.
There is a scene where Batman is being chased by a mutant chicken into a food factory, where it crashes into a large tank of barbecue sauce.
I thought it was ketchup.
Originally, the script called for the chicken to crash into a tank of frying oil, and it would be fried. Somebody on the team didn't like this idea, thinking it was too violent, and changed it to barbecue sauce. Ironically, the sauce turned out to be the worst choice because it was dark red and made the chicken appear to be covered in blood. And this is why. This is obviously that same animation studio from 3 episodes previous, that Dang Woo from South Korea or whatever it was called. I'm sorry. Their episodes are always so interesting. When Robin sees one of the giant bulls,
oh gosh,
he shouts, "Holy cow!" And Batgirl says, "You had to say it." And later on, he says, "Well, that was bull," or something to that.
Yeah, that was bull. It's like, oh, come on, this gets worse.
This harkens back to the 1966 television series Batman, where Robin prefaced all of his exclamations with "Holy."
Holy Toledo, Batman.
During the rampage of Farmer Brown's animals in Gotham, the bull that Batgirl and Robin were fighting crashes into a china shop and wrecks it. Obviously, a sight gag on the common idiom, a bull in a china shop.
Again, physical eye roll.
The suggestion to make chickens pterodactyl-like has been credited to Alan Burnett.
Why?
When describing how he landed the job to write the script, Joe R. Lansdale explained, "The guy that invented Howard the Duck came up with the idea, and I guess he sketched it out, and for whatever reason, he didn't write the script. I don't know why, but they thought, who else is as crazy as this guy? And so they got me."
That makes sense.
He also stated that he had multiple inspirations for this episode, including H.G. Wells's The Food of the Gods and How It Came to Earth, The Deadly Mantis from 1957, and Reptilicus from 1961.
Oh my gosh, really?
His own personal experience as a farmer helped shape the script as well. Which I must now ask the question between this episode and the T-Rex in the last episode. Why did we not make sure Nate was on for this?
Oh, you're not kidding. Oh my gosh.
Because this is right up his alley.
This is so bad.
It's not that it's bad.
Oh, it's bad. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. I will make my appeal on how bad this is.
I am not saying you're wrong for not liking this episode. Mm-hmm. It is goofy beyond belief. But I watch this and going, it's bad monster movie time, and I'm here for it.
Oh my gosh.
Granted, I like this kind of stuff to a degree because it's fun and it's stupid. And this is very fun and stupid episode. Is it a deep episode? No. I mean, the best line is the whole episode.
Okay.
If not, all of Batman the Animated Series is when Bullock says, "You survived the likes of the Joker, but died to Jed Clampett and a bunch of bugs."
I did like that one. That was good. Bullock on that one. That was good.
And is it a good episode? You know what? I'll admit it's probably not. It's not a good episode in the way other Batman the Animated Series episodes are good. This is just a stupid fun episode. And that's why I interpret it as the minute that you see that first animal comes out when they're doing the presentation, and I'm looking at it going, I can't tell if that's a cow or a sheep.
It was like they would murr and neigh at the same time. I'm like, no,
it's a chimera.
Yeah, it's a chimera. Oh,
why is there a chimera bull sheep? Oh, wait a minute.
Say it.
No, I can't. This is a family-friendly show. I'm already too close. I'm already too close. If you didn't catch it,
I did.
You weren't listening.
Yes, I heard it. I heard it.
Because admittedly, as fun as this episode, there is a lot of bullshit in this film, in this episode. I'm sorry. I really am, but this is a goofy episode.
Oh,
it's fun. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Mother of pearl.
But yeah. What are your thoughts? Tell me why you consider run this thing into the ground for me.
My gosh. It's not the fact I'm going to run this into the ground. The fact to be like I wrote this stupid Farmer John hillbilly puns joke became extremely tiring quickly, and I lost interest in this thing. I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. Oh, he's chimeering animals. Okay. And my first thought is like, oh no, this is going to be a hillbilly shucks howdy farm, be like, hee-haw kind of thing. And you
look at my trucker hat.
Almost. If I would have heard something like that, I would have died. But it was just like, okay, you're gonna play into every single little pun there is, and I'm thinking like, okay, the Calendar Girl episode, but like, yeah, that had puns in it. This one was like, can you stop with the stupid puns for 3 seconds?
No,
this is supposed to be Batman.
No, because
the animated series, not Batman 66.
Because the entire point of this episode is let's be as dumb and goofy as we can.
I know.
And when you're going that way, it's the pun problem. A good pun is a bad pun.
Yes.
But it's a pun that's so bad it's good.
Yes.
And that means you must commit to the bit. And boy did they in this episode.
They did. I agree. They did commit to the bit. But at the same time, I was so weary by the end of it. I was like, can't we just stop with the stupid joke and cowboy and yeehaw and Farmer John jokes the entire time? It's like the fact to be like Batgirl goes up against the daughter and it's like, oh, bull estrogen. Wham!
No, that is not what they said.
I know it wasn't bull estrogen. It was like
growth hormone.
Growth hormones.
It's like
beef hormones.
And I guess that's
what it's beef hormones. That's what I thought it would have to be.
It's like,
I was like, oh no, there's the joke. There's the bad joke.
Of course, it makes sense because you've probably been eating these animals for the past year.
Yeah.
You'd have built it up in your system.
Mm-hmm. But I thought she was a cyborg at first. I was like, no, she's actually just be like, you know, she's been having a lot of extra beef with, that either or. But this episode, either or. This episode, oh my gosh, this drove me nuts the entire time. I get puns, I get them, but if you're gonna be punny the entire time, it's just like, you know, give us a flag, be like, hey, we're going to be funny the entire time. And this is not the normal standard of Batman the Animated Series, and it threw me so much.
They did. They gave you the clue. And it was the bullshit.
That is true. That is true. I think it's like, oh, okay.
I didn't catch that. That's what they were doing at the time.
I didn't either at the time.
Because I was taking this up. Yeah, I was taking this episode so seriously until the praying mantises were walking down the street, which is when I texted to our podcast group, how did we not get Nate on this episode? To which he replied, there's still time. It's like, you're not wrong, but...
Oh my gosh. That was just... Like, to get Nate on here for one episode of TAS would have been like, okay, that's interesting. Hey, Nate, show up at this time about an hour and a half in, and just like, hey,
oh, no.
Here's...
You know what I'm going to do?
Oh, no.
I'm putting a cut right here.
Okay.
I'm going to send a text message to Nate and say, do me a favor. A big favor. Watch this episode. Record a short review of it.
Oh, no.
This is right up your alley.
Agreed. That would be funny.
And I will put it right here.
Jimmy, the Nate signal has been turned on. It's from the Cellcast. What do they need from us tonight? Batman, the animated series, an episode called Critters? I'm on it. Seriously, guys, you I should have been on this. But first off, Kaiju Farm Animals. That wasn't on my bingo card. When I was watching this, I was trying to figure out, did I see this episode? There were some bits of it that seemed kind of familiar, but I'm still not sure. I'm still not sure. But you don't want to know what's one of the best parts of this episode? This is one of the few that has commentaries on the Blu-ray set. This is why you guys need to invest in physical media. So I watched this not once, but twice, and once with a commentary. You're getting the full Marchand this week, folks. Cell Nation, whatever you prefer. The commentary was quite insightful. What I didn't realize, and I kind of got the impression watching the episode, is apparently, according to Bruce Timm and the guys, this is one of the most reviled episodes of Batman the Animated Series, but they love it. So it's a case of the creators love it, the fans not so much, and I can see why. It's a weird episode. As I was watching it, I kept thinking, this feels like it would be more at home on Superman the Animated Series, not Batman. But their argument was that Farmer Brown, and I think his daughter's name is Emmy Lou, is that right? Yeah, that is correct. Yeah. Good. Thanks for fact checking that, Jimmy. So they said that Farmer Brown would be right in line with Batman 66 in the third season when they were just making up villains who weren't from the comics. That would explain some things, but what makes this funny but not funny is that this is Batman 66 levels of camp played straight. And sometimes that, like I said, sometimes that makes it funny, unintentionally funny, or maybe it was, I don't know. It is, the tone of this episode is really weird, but it was this was based on an outline from Steve Gerber, creator of Howard the Duck and guy who famously wrote on Man-Thing for Marvel. And they said that they don't want to put words in his mouth, but they're not sure that he believes in heroes. And they felt like his outline was kind of making fun of Batman. And then he wasn't able to do the script, but they retooled it so that that the tone was more, I guess, was not making fun of Batman, but it's still a really off-kilter episode, which is very in keeping with Steve Gerber. I know enough to be dangerous. So, like this episode is something. It is something. We've got giant cows, or as I called them in my notes, Cowju. There you have it. Yeah. Also, I think the Emmy Lou looks a lot like Kara. I feel like they kind of reused that animation model. Just kind of throwing that out there. And boy, a super rich farmer who's a mad geneticist. Weird things were going to happen from that. Okay. That's a lot of beef. Well, we had that's a lot of bull, which, oh my gosh. They did that actually in the commentary. They did the sad trombone because what the heck, Robin? He also says, holy cow. Was that supposed to be a Batman 66 homage? Because really, this entire episode is just a really dark Batman 66 episode in so many ways. But, here I am talking about all the actual comic book related stuff. And the reason why you guys signaled me, all but begged me. Actually, no. The note that I got from Drew said, I beg you, watch this episode. That is an exact quote. And I can see why. I can very much see why. because there are a lot of kaiju references in here. Not Japanese ones. They're mostly American kaiju references. Amerikaiju, you could say. Yes, Jimmy, we did an entire season 3 of MIFE. Go back and listen to it. We covered American kaiju movies. Although, a couple of the ones that are referenced in this, it didn't quite make the cut, but they will be coming up soon. The most obvious one that we get at the start of this is we have giant mantises. Now, I could say, oh, that comes from the Gigantus, or the Kamacuras, I should say, from Son of Godzilla. No, I was like, nope, this came from the Deadly Mantis because that's an American film. We did not cover that one. It was also on MST3K, I might add, that has the golden line of, I have a mantis in my pantis. Sorry, parents, if you're listening to this, might have gotten creeped up to a little bit PG-13 there. But yeah, but the Deadly Mantis, which is exactly what it says. It's about a giant mantis. It was done with a marionette, and it will be in next season. For season 6, it will be a Patreon sponsored episode from my executive producer, Damon Noyes, because he has a thing for puppet monsters. So that's the obvious one. One that I did not see get talked about, because I did look up the DCAU wiki page for this just to confirm. I fail, and Drew made mention of this in his note to me. He said, it takes inspiration from Reptilicus. I failed to see the Reptilicus connections in this because there wasn't a giant lizard anywhere. It's more just general kaiju cinema, I suppose, because the comment where that inspiration came from also brought up the Deadly Mantis in the same breath. But obviously I can see the Deadly Mantis inspiration here. That, the Reptilicus, not so much. So I don't know what to say about that. Unless I missed something. Because there's no regenerating creatures or anything. But the one that they didn't bring up that I immediately thought of, another shout out to Damon Noyes, my executive producer, because he was on this episode that I did cover this movie, and it's still one of my favorite episodes I've ever produced for MIFE, and that's the Giant Claw, because we have mutant chickens with boils on their head. You heard me right. And they look like Crazy Bernice herself, the Giant Claw. Look it up. You want to see the most whacked out monster that you've ever seen? How about an alien antimatter buzzard? Yeah. It's a bat crap crazy movie with a bat crap crazy monster that is a giant marionette, probably from Mexico, and it is the ugliest, doofiest looking thing you've ever seen. And I have to believe that. But who knows if it was inspired by the Giant Claw, that had to have come from the freelance artist whose artwork that they used in this, a guy named, let me see, Kyo, where is it? Oh my gosh, I lost it. It is Kyo. We're going to Control F this. Should have wrote down his name. Kyo Thongam. And they just said that he had this wild monster designs in his portfolio. So I'm guessing maybe he saw the Giant Claw and that's where it came from. I don't know. But yeah, so I have little doubt the Giant Claw was involved in this. Another weird little kaiju thing that I noticed, and it is the big pig. Big pig. I made a funny. Anyway, so the big pig that goes after Bullock, its roar sounds like El Gusano from the 2-part premiere, and well, he was in some later episodes too, of Godzilla the series, but this predates Godzilla the series. So in fact, what it is that El Gusano sounds like this thing. Also, there's that great line, and the commentators love this one too, about how, 2 rules to live by. Always check your shoes for what the cow left and check your money. Some nice country wisdom right there, as they put it. I think it's funny that he's saying it to his daughter, because his daughter, apparently, after she got hopped up on beef steroids, which I'm pretty sure would have some serious adverse effects, but okay. And I'm not sure one of them is make her taller than men and is super strong, but whatever on that. There are professional wrestlers and bodybuilders who take those, and they still have to work out and stuff, but okay. Should have said it was like some artificial steroid that he came up with, but again, whatever. But she doesn't believe in shoes, and he's saying that to her about shoes, and she works on a farm, so you would think that she would want to wear shoes for protection, but oh well, I guess the beef steroids also give her incredibly durable soles. But sure, guys, sure. And, they do, and Farmer Brown, what a wacky name. What a wacky concept. I can't believe it's so weird that they played it straight. If I was writing this, it would be very hard for me to not just be funny about it. Fun fact, the actor who, as I'm sure Drew and Jacob mentioned, the actor who voiced Farmer Brown used to be in a Western called The Big Valley when they were kids, and drove all the way from Vancouver to LA because there was an airline strike going on, and he still showed up on time to record his lines. So more power to him. But yeah, I should mention that Keogh's artwork they described as Jack Kirby on acid. Sounds about accurate. Would love to see what some of those original designs from his portfolio looked like. Also, did you guys know that there's a reference to Farmer Brown in the episode The Ultimate Thrill? Yeah, they mentioned that too. And the score is unique in this. They said it was kind of Twilight Zone-ish, but also they called it creepy hillbilly music. And I could see that. The goat, man. The goat's the weirdest part. And they said that's the most Keogh out of all of the monster designs. Yeah, but can someone please explain to me how that goat, a talking goat, managed to get all the way into the police station and not attract too much attention? How was it wandering around the streets of Gotham and not attracting attention? I mean, I get it. It's Gotham, but still. Anyway, but yeah, Farmer Brown's clearly designed to resemble the American Gothic painting, and they said that they didn't quite reference that as much as they would have liked. And then the big finale in this is the silo rocket. Okay, that's amusing. Like, this guy, all the money in the world, and he really had to lean into this farmer motif. I gotta say, I don't think I can point to any other example of a supervillain farmer. There's supervillains who became farmers, but not like a supervillain whose entire motif was that he's a farmer and he makes kaiju-ified farm animals. Now, they did cite, I don't know if you guys brought this up or not, because I wasn't there for the live show because I was busy, but they also mentioned that H.G. Wells' The Food of the Gods also inspired this, because Farmer Brown was doing all of this to produce more food by making things larger. And it involved animals, but then eventually the formula that was making the animals bigger started getting eaten by humans. That thing's been made into a movie a couple of times, so I'm surprised I didn't think of that. But yeah, there you go. So yeah, some literary references, some kaiju references, more than I would have expected, and perhaps I saw some that were unknown even to the creators. Like I said, the boil-headed chickens are definitely definitely crazy beneath the giant claw. Seriously, look up the giant claw sometime. It's great for a laugh. Anyway, thanks for letting me make this cameo, guys. You just can't get away from me being your unofficial third co-host, can you? Jimmy, I don't need you to lecture me on what is and isn't my podcast. Okay. All right. We are done, sir. We are done.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds about right. But yeah, this episode, oh my gosh. Again, once you realize it's a goat sheep, it's a bull sheep. It's a bull sheep. And I was like, oh no. Like, here it comes, and it's like, okay. And all I hear is bum 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 bum. And
I mean, there was banjo in this score.
In it. And it was just like, oh great, here we go. Here's a punny one. And no wonder people revile this. And it's
If
not
you're going,
really.
Yeah. If you're going into it like Jacob and you're wanting a normal episode of Batman the Animated Series,
you're not going to get it.
I get why you don't like this episode.
And it drove
but I
me
gave
nuts.
up on this being a normal Batman the Animated Series episode about the time he went into the barn elevator.
Oh gosh.
And went,
I was like, wait a minute.
That's what this episode is.
Oh, okay. And then it was just like, oh, okay, everybody's being punny. Oh, let's do the punny dance. We do the punny dance. It's like, oh, brother, give me a break. Be like, I want my Batman to be serious, a little bit of funny, not punny the entire time. Again, this is not Batman 66. If you want that, go see Batman Robin. Again,
not quite the same, but
no,
you know, I get what you're going.
Yeah. Again, be like, you like Batman and Robin for all the wrong reasons. And
I'm texting Nate right now.
You are.
Next week.
Please say it's not a punny episode.
I have no idea. But they are 2 animal episodes. One is called Cult of the Cat.
Oh, okay. That's not bad.
And the other is Animal Act.
Animal Act. Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 episodes from finishing Batman the Animated Series.
Yay.
So, or 10 Batman the Animated Series episodes. So we are getting there. Slowly but surely.
Very slowly.
Don't get me wrong, I have enjoyed this, but man, is it long a lot.
Yes. Yes.
So join us next week for that, along with David. And in the meantime, this has been Drew.
This is Jacob.
And we'll catch you in the next frame.
To follow Jacob and Drew's individual internet exploits, check out the Linktree links in the show notes. You can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Twitter or X @cast_cell. Follow our Facebook page, The Cellcast Podcast, and join our Facebook group, The Cell Nation, our YouTube channel, Cellcast, and our Rumble channel, The Cellcast Gaming. You can join us every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central for our live recordings of our episodes on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. You can also join Drew on those same streaming channels on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central for gaming streams. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts can be downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. Our bad movie theme is It's Party Time by Gregory Snegoff, with additional audio from the film Titanic: The Legend Goes On, and remember, that's Cell with a single L.
This is some bull sheep.
Yeah, not wrong.